Hey, welcome back to the studio, friends and lovers.
Yeah. I'm not feeling very lovable after the news we're about to give on this video.
Yeah, we're going to be taking a look at some interesting news that's come out. And I'm sure all of you have already heard about this and seen everything on Twitter. And there's been a lot of people covering it. But we figured we'd come in and give our take, which is the most important one.
I wouldn't say that, but I will say,
well, it is to us.
It is to us, and we're going to share it. So Justin Roiland, he has been fired from not only Adult Swim, but also from Hulu.
Yeah.
And we know from Hulu he has a show he's involved with, Koala Man, and more importantly, Solar Opposites.
Yeah. That's the longer running one, right?
Yeah, I think we're on 3 seasons, I think. Mm-hmm. And I believe they have more seasons ordered. And obviously, if you know anything about Justin, the biggest heavy hitter is Rick and Morty. And so if this is news to you, in a nutshell, basically he's been charged with basically, what was it? Battery assault?
Domestic violence.
Roland is
corporal injury, 1 count of false imprisonment by menace.
Yeah.
Violence, fraud, and deceit.
That's a tall order of charges there.
Now he's pleaded not guilty.
Yeah, and his attorney, as attorneys do, are on his side.
And sounds confident.
To say that when they reach a verdict of these charges, he will come out as innocent. That is what they're saying. Mm-hmm. However, there seems to be a lot of charges, and there seems to be, from what I've heard here and there, a lot of evidence to back this up.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying anything, and I'm definitely not for him if he did this.
Yeah.
But there also seemed to be a lot of evidence for Johnny Depp as well.
Well, let's look at it like this. You know, our court system works on innocent until proven guilty. The court of public opinion doesn't work that way.
It doesn't do that, but yeah.
And what we know from companies, especially companies in California, if you are guilty by public opinion, you are guilty. Mm-hmm. And so they just cut their losses.
Yeah,
they cut their losses. They're like, disassociate from the person, ostracize the person, so that we can focus on what we're doing. Yeah. Because we don't want to be, because they have too much history with that kind of stuff.
That's true.
So they're very, very quick to cut ties. Like I said, our court system says innocent until proven guilty. Mm-hmm. So
we have to really wait to see what comes of the verdict. Mm-hmm. But right now, he just has all these pretty scary-sounding charges on him, and we'll see if he is found guilty of them.
Listen, though, even if he's exonerated, this is a detrimental hit.
Yeah.
To his character, mm-hmm. right?
We thought Louis C.K. was bad.
Right, yeah. This is a pretty big hit. Nobody is going to hire him after this, even if he is found not guilty. It's going to be an interesting case.
And I will say, although it looks really bad, this has been ongoing for a long time. And right now, his reputation is being basically canceled or tarnished because of Adult Swim and Hulu. Mm-hmm. Now, not to say that they are not going to come out correct, but they are preemptively making a decision, like you were saying, to distance themselves.
We got to think about also, he's resigned from his games company, Squanch Games, which has, they did the Rick and Morty VR game. Mm-hmm. They did Trover Saves the Universe, and more recently, High on Life. You're probably familiar with the guy who's like, let's do it. He's a gun. Let's do it. You guys have probably all seen the memes, the let's do it memes.
Yeah.
He's resigned. This company also had a little bit of a scandal back in 2019 mm-hmm. where they settled a what was it? I think it was sexual misconduct thing.
On Justin's part?
No, I don't know. It was like a sexual harassment.
Okay.
It was a sexual harassment thing in the game studio.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. Now, the biggest thing is Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the overarching idea is that we have Hulu and Adult Swim saying that they are going to continue these shows he's attached to.
Mm-hmm.
However, he is the talent pretty heavily for Solar Opposites and very heavily for Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
So that brings us to Rick
He
and Morty.
plays like 70% of the characters.
Yeah.
In Rick and Morty.
So I think we should give our take on what we think about Rick and Morty moving forward since he's not going to be attached.
Without him. They're moving forward without him. They've made this statement.
They're saying Rick and Morty's not done.
Right.
Now, Dan Harmon is still involved.
Mm-hmm.
And we know when it comes to humor and complexity of stories that we find interesting with Rick and Morty, that's Dan Harmon's brain. But I think the randomness and kind of the vulgarity and kind of the life essence of Rick,
a lot of
comes out of Justin.
A lot of you can look at Rick and Morty and you can see a lot of Dan Harmon. A lot of him, especially in Rick, and a lot in the world and a lot in the storytelling. Right. But you see Justin Roiland in a lot of the humor, all the voices, a lot of the randomness. Now, I've heard from a lot of people that, a little bit of the humor's played out. People have kind of grown tired with the repeated that style of humor. It's been done, and we've seen it before. But I don't know. I think Justin Roiland's I think he's the heart of this show.
Here's the thing.
I think he really is.
I'm not as bold as to say that, but I will say this. I'm curious to see. Well, we will know when they create a season without Justin. We will know who is the genius behind the show. Yeah, we just will. Okay, if it just doesn't hold up, and the voice talent is almost there, or maybe even spot on, but the energy that we grown to love from the episodes is not there, we'll know that Justin was the genius behind the show. Yeah. And if it is there and Justin's gone, then we'll be like, well, maybe we've been giving Justin too much credit.
I think what has made the show work was both of them.
Probably.
Both of their comedy writing, both of their different skills and talents. And the reason it's gone on so long and been so prosperous is because of both of them. Dan Harmon gets a little bit
cynical.
Yeah, he gets cynical and nihilistic at times.
That's his whole thing
with his thing. But Justin Roiland kept it a little bit more lighthearted. So I think it's both of them. And I think I did see a tweet underneath the who was it? It was Tim Pool.
Okay.
Tim Pool
I know Tim Pool is. Tim
Pool on Twitter said he doesn't see this actually being able to succeed. And maybe then not. Elon Musk responded,
"Oh no,
that Justin Roiland's essentially the heart of the show."
So that's the opinion of Elon Musk.
Now,
he's right about a lot of things. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Musk has been on Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. When I heard last night, laying in bed, Mackenzie said, Justin's been fired from Adult Swim, I became upset. My countenance fell, if you will. And I started going like, why the crap? Like, why do I have to suffer because someone else did something wrong or perhaps did something wrong? Why is the fan base who are loyal and care so much, why are we the ones being punished?
Yeah.
That's why I think, okay, this is honestly what I think. He might be a bad person. He might have done this. Hulu and Adult Swim should have waited for a verdict. They should have waited.
Yeah.
But they always are going to jump on it, and it's probably because of social justice things, honestly.
Yeah.
And because if it is true, it's not a good look.
It's not a good look, and, they don't want to be associated with somebody who's fighting something like this. And it's going to be in the news, and it's going to be big. Honestly, they should have, like you said, waited.
They should have waited.
Because that draws more attention to what you're creating.
Yeah. Because, right? Okay, if he comes out innocent, and I'm not just taking Justin's side because he created a show that I like, but if Justin is innocent, then Hulu and Adult Swim are the ones with pies on their faces. They might have ruined the biggest cartoon show next to Family Guy of all time, maybe.
It's the biggest thing under Adult Swim
under
right now.
Adult Swim.
Yeah.
They might have ruined a
Yeah.
show because they wanted to send a message.
But
I don't know.
that's why they're continuing. It's the biggest thing Adult Swim has. That's why this is a $1 billion corporation. That's why they are continuing with it, because it's so huge.
Yeah.
And I understand that. You want to keep making those
It's
schmeckles.
huge.
You want to keep
Schmeckles.
you want to keep going. It's big.
Yeah.
And,
And that's all we have to say.
yeah.
Because once we see a new season of Rick and Morty without Justin's involvement, we will know what to think about it. We will know if one way or the other what the vibe is without him and how much Dan Harmon actually brings to the table as a creator and as a director and producer of the show. So
Yeah.
that's it. I hope this was informative. I hope you enjoyed it, and let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are of Justin's, allegations and the charges he's had put against him, and what you think about Rick and Morty in the future, as well as Solar Opposites if you were a fan of that show. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for sticking around.